If you're thinking about buying or building a new construction home in the Richmond, Virginia Metro Area, this video could honestly save you thousands of dollars and a whole lot of stress. I'm going to walk you through the exact types of new builds I'd personally never buy, and I'm going to show you why. These aren't just opinions. These are lessons I've learned after years in the industry, helping clients through the highs and the heartbreaks of new construction. If we haven't met yet, hey y'all, I'm Holly, a local top producing realtor here in the Richmond Metro Area. I help people just like you relocate to RV8 every day, including those who want to build new homes from the ground up. As a matter of fact, one of the home inspectors I regularly work with calls me the new construction queen because I help more clients with new construction than any of the other realtors that he works with, and believe me, that's a lot of them. I can tell you new construction can be a great option, but it's not all fresh paint and granite countertops. So let's walk through 6 things I always caution my clients to think about and smarter moves that can help you protect your money, your time, and your peace of mind. Let's start with the big one: mass-produced homes with compromised quality. A lot of buyers assume that going with a big national builder means higher quality. The truth, mass production doesn't always mean quality production. In fact, it often means rushed timelines, cut corners, and subcontractors who don't even coordinate with each other. Some even truck parts of the house in and assemble it on site like a Lego set. I had a client who bought with one of the big names before we met, and within a few months, they were dealing with drainage issues, a misaligned fireplace, and mold. Yes, mold in a new construction home. Another client insisted that they had to buy with a national builder. There was no changing their mind on that fact. When we did the final walkthrough, y'all wouldn't believe some of the things we found. Would you want a home with a front door that had a gap across the top of the door big enough to put your finger through? Think about it this way. You could sit on the couch, look across the room, and see the weather, or if it's day or night outside, by looking through the gap. Oh, and the door going into the garage wasn't roughed in straight. So at the bottom, you had about a 3-inch space between the trim and the corner of the wall. Up at the top, they actually had to trim part of the molding off around the door to get it to attach to the wall. Would you like a piece of trim around your door to be hanging on an angle? The moral to the story is just because a builder is well known doesn't mean the craftsmanship is solid. Instead, I encourage my clients to consider smaller regional builders with a track record for consistency and pride in their work. They may not have big billboards, but they often deliver much better homes. Another pro tip that I always give my clients is it really comes down to the project manager. Regardless of whether you go with a national builder or a regional builder, if the project manager is on point, the chances of your new home being on point are far better. That brings me to the second thing: unfinished developments and builder bankruptcies. It's easy to get excited about a new neighborhood and a glossy site plan, but I've seen situations where buyers move in and then nothing. The rest of the neighborhood stalls. Rows aren't finished, amenities never show up, and sometimes the builder just disappears. You don't want to be stuck in a half-finished subdivision for years, especially if resale becomes part of your plan. Always ask about the builder's financial health, how many developments they've completed, and whether there are any pending lawsuits or complaints against them. Bonus points if the neighborhood is already 70% or more complete. That usually means less risk of being left in limbo. Next, we have to talk about upgrades and resale value. Walking through the design center is like walking through a candy store for a kiddo. You'll want everything, but here's the hard truth: most of those upgrades won't get you a great return on your investment. I recently heard about a situation where someone added $75,000 worth of upgrades, and the home came in at $40,000 under value when it was appraised. That's a really tough spot to be in, especially if you're relying on financing. On the flip side, I personally had a client who trusted me so much, she literally said, "Holly, design my whole house." She didn't want to have to worry about picking finishings or deciding what structural options to add. She wanted me just to do it for her, and she would be surprised at the end. I chose finishes that were smart, timeless, and made sense for the market, and the appraisal came back exactly where we needed it. I then helped her add some other things after closing using my go-to vendor guide that all of my clients receive when they buy a home with me. So don't just upgrade for now, upgrade for later too. Be sure you are putting your money the best use possible. I could help you with which upgrades actually add value to your home. In Richmond, things like hardwood flooring, floor-to-rooms, functional kitchen layouts, and good lot placement often matter more than the trendy backsplash. Now, let's talk about HOAs, homeowners associations. Some are amazing. relaxing. They keep the community clean, protect your home's value, and create a sense of order. But others, they can be incredibly frustrating. I've had buyers fined for putting up seasonal flags, planting tulips without approval, and one was told to remove a swing set because it didn't meet the aesthetic guidelines. Some HOAs are overreaching or poorly managed, and that can quickly turn your dream home into a headache. We have a wide range of HOAs here in RVA, some basically just enforcing county guidelines, and others who are on the opposite end of the spectrum, like the ones that I described previously. Some handle exterior maintenance, lawn care, trash removal, snow removal, not that we get that much anymore, but still, it's there if we need it. Some communities even have multiple different HOAs, so here's my tip. Walk the neighborhood. Ask the folks how they feel about the HOA. It's one thing to sign off on rules, it's another thing to live under them. And be sure you are working with a realtor like me who knows about the HOAs and can help you navigate if this community is going to work for you, and someone who knows the terms of the contract inside and out and can explain it to you. In this area, your offer is legally binding once it's accepted by the seller. There are only a few areas where you can withdraw your offer without penalty. That's different than other states in the U.S. I can't stress this enough. Have someone that goes through each section of the contract with you and explains paragraph by paragraph what you are signing. Okay, enough of that. On to something that gets overlooked all the time: warranty enforcement and inspections. I can't tell you how many buyers assume that because the county does inspections, they don't need a private home inspection. That's simply not true. County inspections focus on code, not quality. And when you've got tens, sometimes hundreds of subcontractors working on your home, mistakes happen. A third-party home inspector is there to look out for you. I've seen builders push back on warranty work or drag their feet once the home closes. But when my buyers have documentation from a solid inspector and someone like me following up, those issues get addressed faster and more thoroughly. So yes, even with new construction, you need your own inspection. When you're buying a new construction home, you can actually have 2 inspections if you go under contract early enough in the build process: a pre-drywall one and a pre-closing inspection. I had one client who had a home inspection done, and it came back over 75 pages in length of items the inspector recommended being addressed. Yes, home inspection reports usually are lengthy, but not that lengthy. We were able to get all of those items taken care of prior to closing. Here's a pro tip I always give to my clients. New construction houses in this area come with a 1-year builder warranty per the Code of Virginia. Some builders offer extended warranty on certain components of the home as well. Have a home inspector come back and do another inspection prior to the end of that warranty, so you can ask the builder to address any needed items. And finally, let's talk about a trend we're seeing more and more: gentrification through tear down and overdevelopment. In some parts of the Richmond area, especially closer to the city, older homes are being torn down and replaced with massive modern builds. Sometimes that's a good thing. It brings new life to a neighborhood, but it can also disrupt the feel of the community, drive up property taxes, and create tension with longtime residents. Not to mention, it often means your view, your privacy, and your street's character can change drastically over a few short years. So if you're building in an area that's seeing a lot of growth, ask the agent about zoning, future development plans, and what the surrounding streets might look like in 5 years. At the end of the day, new construction can be a fantastic choice if you go into it with your eyes open. That's why I help my buyers spot the red flags early, from builder quality to contract traps, so they can move forward with clarity and confidence. If you're even thinking about building a home in the Richmond area, reach out anytime. I'm happy to help however I can. And if you want to make the smartest home buying decision possible, watch this next video. It's packed with even more helpful tips for navigating the Richmond market.